From the second reading there, faith is the realization of what is hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Faith is one of these tricky things because we tend to be a people of evidence. We want to be able to see it and experience it, and that's how we know that the thing is. But that's not what faith is. It is, in some sense, believing without seeing. But I think another synonym for the word faith is trust. And the letter to the Hebrews is giving us this extreme example of trust in the person of Abraham. So you think here, he's like it outlines very beautifully in this reading, Abraham is this man advanced in age, and he's been promised to be the father of many nations, even though that seems absolutely impossible. There's nothing about his circumstances that say that this should be possible. His wife is barren, he's very old. This reading also talks about he's sent to a land he's never even seen before and told, "This will be yours." He's believing without seeing. But why? How? How can he do that? It's the same way we do it with so many other things. We trust in the one who's telling us these things. So like teachers told us about Pythagorean theorem and the scientific method and all these things, and we trust. We just kind of believe that, yeah, sure, I guess that works. I don't know. I mean, because somebody before us has tested these things and said, this is something you can believe. But on a way more cosmic level, we have the God of the universe who is saying these things to Abraham, and Abraham trusts. There's a beautiful story about Abraham in the book of Genesis where he is told by God to go out and look at the sky and try to count the number of the stars, and that will be how many descendants you have. That's a special story because if you read that story very carefully, God tells him to go do that during the daytime. He's not in the middle of the night and told to count the stars, which would be impossible enough, but he's told to do it in the daytime because he trusts. If you think about it, we trust that whenever the sun goes down, then the stars are going to come out in the sky and all the rest. But that's not something we can see even at this hour right now. It's something that we trust that will happen. So how much more so the things with God? Abraham gets to be this tremendous example of us of what faith is. God has made us many promises, and some of them we got to hear about in the gospel today. Who then is the faithful and prudent steward whom the master will put in charge of his servants to distribute the allowance at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master on arrival finds doing so. We're charged by the Lord, by Christ himself, to be these faithful stewards, to keep plugging away at the Christian life, even when it's hard, even when I don't want to pray because I'd rather sleep in a little bit longer, even when I don't want to do the right thing, but nobody's looking. Why does it matter? Whether it's whatever moral truth that we're trying to live out of. We do it because we trust in this promise that we are supposed to be these faithful stewards that hold out until the end. But it's more than that even. It's more than just getting a reward at the end of life, and that's why we do the things like good soldiers. We do it because of love. Until we've made that switch in our hearts, this is going to be impossibly difficult to live the moral life, to pray every day. But we do it because we've fallen in love with a God whom sometimes we can't see, but we trust, and we have faith that he is the creator of the universe, that he loves me beyond possibility, beyond all telling. And that's why I do these things. That's why I listen to a call to a vocation to the priesthood or to married life or whatever it might be. I listen to those stirrings in the heart when I'm being called to move this way or that, even though I don't know what's beyond that horizon, that other door. Just like Abraham got sent to a foreign land and was told to trust that he'd have more descendants than he could count. We do it all out of faith. We've trusted in lesser things like the scientific method. What does our God have in store for us? The God who loves us and the God of all possibilities.